Hello, it is good to see you on the mat. Welcome back to Yoga with Paige, or welcome if we haven't practiced together before. Let's get ready to attack the back. Today's focus is all about strengthening the back. So we'll find a lot of twists, a lot of holds where we really focus on utilizing the lower back and finding strength. So this will help with our posture as we strengthen up and down the spine. It'll help with our inversions because to strengthen the back, you kind of use the abs a little bit as well. We don't need any props for this class, but if you would like to have blocks and things handy, grab them now, and we get started on our back. Haha, that's fitting. So lying down on the back, using a few breaths to come into this practice. Just feel the body. Notice how it feels right now. Notice what's going on. Take one deep breath and let it all out. And then on your next inhale, reach the arms up over the head, squeeze everything together, and exhale, take all of your limbs to the right side, making a nice big C shape. Really actively reaching out, pointing the toes, reaching with the fingers, finding a stretch in the side body as well as the lower back. Returning to center, taking one big inhale to squeeze, and then taking everything over to the left. Finding a gentle little warm up here, a little stretch for the back before we get going. And coming back to center, you're going to find a little twist. So pick your favorite and just gently twist, gazing over the right shoulder, taking the legs over to the left. Find a little intuitive move here. Find what feels good to you. And just let yourself be here for a moment. Let yourself organically open up. And come on to the back with your next exhale. Gently taking your twist to the other side. Taking awareness to the spine and to the breath. Letting your breathing be easy. Taking one or two more calming breaths. Before rolling onto the back, hug both knees into the chest, lift the head, wrap your arms around the legs and kind of crunch in. Hold everything really, really close and tight here. And then release the right leg, keeping the left up. Take the hands behind the head and just find a little crunch and release. Take the right knee up. Only taking 2 of these on each side. Don't worry, I know core was yesterday. Here we go, one more. Just little baby crunches. Then release the hands, take them behind the thighs. Find a little play here, rock a few times, and then make your way up into a seat. Finding bound angle, pressing the soles of the feet together, letting the groins open. Inhale to find length, and exhale, root down through the sit bones. Reaching for the toes, helping to pull your chest open. Finding length in the spine, reach up through the crown of the head. And on your next exhale, maybe take the feet out a little bit more, give yourself a little bit more space, and walk the hands out, reaching with the fingertips. Your back might be a little bit rounded here, finding a nice big stretch in the lower back. Maybe you want to sway a little bit. Just breathe. One more breath. And then inhale, walk the fingertips back up. Take the hands behind the bum, plant the feet about mat width, and find some windshield wipers. So we can start with these kind of mild and small. And then we can maybe add a little extra twist. So really send the hips over to one side. Ooh, my back just cracked. Starting to increase our movements with the spine. Beautiful. Just warming up. And finding your last round or two here. And we meet in tabletop in the middle of the mat. Taking a few breaths in tabletop to really just find the spine. Send your awareness there. It's what this is all about this week. Giving attention to one specific area. It's a good practice to have in yoga. Press away from the mat. Find one big breath. Let the belly release and hang. Fill it with air and send it all out. Come down onto the elbows, onto the left elbow, and take the right hand behind the head. So we're still gazing at the mat. We're going to take little twists. So this will be twisting from the thoracic spine. They might not be too big of movements. That's okay. So inhale, reach the elbow up just until you feel a twist in the back. And exhale, tap the elbow down to the mat. We'll take 5 of these. 3, and 5. Pressing back up to neutral spine. Extend the right leg to the side. Plant the foot and take a little cat-cow. Mobilizing the spine. Waking up the hips. Inhale. Lift the gaze. Press away from the mat. And exhale, round through the back. Send the tailbone up. And round, tuck it in. One more round. Then return to neutral spine. Take the leg back in, tuck the toes, and come into a downward facing dog. Pedaling out through the feet, wake up the backs of the legs. If you need to, take your time. Arrive. Really press away from the mat. This is such a nice lengthening posture for the back. Really send the heels down into the mat. See where you can soften here. And then inhale, lift the heels, press through the balls of the feet. Exhale, roll into high plank. Then bend the knees, send the hips up like we're in cow, and back to downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the heels, exhale, roll, then bend the knees, and try to make these spinal rolls as fluid as possible. Finding your own pace, your own rhythm. Trying to control the movements. Find one more. And meet in downward facing dog. And gently step this right leg up. coming into a little low lunge, not a super low lunge, kind of a little 90-90 lunge. Square the hips, lift the arms up, big inhale, and exhale, the right arm comes behind, revolve. Inhale, center, arms up, and exhale, twist. 5 of these. 3, 4, trying to keep the shoulders down, away from the ears. 5, and on your 5th one, you can take a little side stretch, reaching that right hand back as the left comes overhead. Maybe you want to scoot that leg in a little bit further, opening up the hip flexors. Connect to the core, raise back up, windmill the arms around, and send the hips back, half splits. Flexing the right foot, reaching forward. Find length in the spine, reach up through the crown. 1 breath. Back into your low lunge. Lift the fingertips off if you can. Then exhale, send the hips back, nice and controlled. 1 more time. Exhale. Coming back into your low lunge, kickstand this left foot behind you. Place the right hand on the inside of the foot, reach the left overhead. Press away from the mat, open up the side body. Exhale, windmill the arms around, come through this little half posture here. And then slowly reach the right arm overhead as the left comes to where it's comfortable. Maybe the leg, maybe the calf, or the ankle. We can always tuck the back foot. Sending the pelvis forward, a slight little back bend here. Breathe. Exhale, come back through our half posture. Turn to the front of the mat and step back onto the knees. Inhale, untuck the feet, coming up onto the knees, raise the arms high. And exhale, sweep them around. They find the lower back. Preparing for a slight little back bend, so ground down through the shins. Inhale, raise the chest, send the pelvis forward, and slowly bend back. Using your breath, holding here for a few. Don't go too far. If you can't breathe easy, dial it back a little bit. 1 last breath. Return back. Send the hips down to meet the heels. Walk the fingertips out. Find a little rest, a little reset in child pose before we come into the other side. Maybe find a little wiggle here. Might feel good for the lower back. But your body will probably tell you what to do. And when you're ready, we come back up to tabletop. Finding our twist on the other side. Planting the right forearm, left hand reaches behind the head. Inhale, twist. Exhale, tap the elbow. 5 of these. Beautiful. And press back up, tabletop. Extend the left leg long and find your interesting cat-cow. Inhale. Take all of the awareness to the spine, to the tailbone. Feel the stretch and the strength radiating up the entire spine. And when you have finished, we meet back, tabletop, to come into a few more spinal rolls. Let's get the juices a-flowing here. All right, our body knows what to do. Inhale, heels come up. Exhale, roll. Pressing away from the mat. Beautiful. Finding your last feel-good roll, and meet me back in downward facing dog. Take the left knee, the left leg, and step up into our low lunge. Find your positioning, lift the chest, square the hips. Inhale, reach the arms up, and exhale, revolve to the left. Really ground down through the legs to only twist from the back. Isolating our movements. And on your last one, maybe find your little side stretch. And lift back up, half splits. You can use the fingertips for the first one. Reach up with the crown of the head, flex that beautiful foot back of your face. And low lunge, lift the fingertips off if you can. If you need to, use them, no worries. Exhale, sweep the arms back. Inhale, low lunge. Beautiful. And last one. Coming into our low lunge to kickstand that right leg back. Reach the right arm overhead. And lift off carefully, come through middle, and find your version of this back bend. Does not have to look like mine. Whenever you're ready, we turn back and step back up onto our knees, coming into another little back bend. Yes, we love it. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, they find the lower back. Inhale, look up, gaze up. Exhale, send the pelvis forward. Start to dip the head back. Hold here. 5, 4, 3, 2, you got it. 1. And come back up, neutral spine, child pose. Take a little reset. Getting ready to fire it up with some sun salutations, a little warrior flow. So find what you need. And then when you're ready, lift up, downward facing dog. Press the hips up to the sky. Gaze at the hands, make your way to the top of the mat and fold. Inhale, halfway lift, reach through the crown of the head and fold. Root to rise, hands come above the head, and mountain pose. Take a moment to feel your foundation here. Lift up through the feet, slightly tuck the tailbone. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, flat back, dive down. Halfway lift, and step back to plank. Taking a nice strong chaturanga, tuck the elbows in by the ribs. Tap the mat with the nose. And exhale, downward facing dog. One more time, up to the top of the mat, halfway lift and fold. Root to rise, gaze at your beautiful hands. Maybe take hands to heart center. Inhale, reach. Exhale, dive. Halfway lift, plant the hands, plank pose, chaturanga. And upward facing dog, cobra, sphinx, whatever suits your fancy. Downward facing dog. This time, ground down through the left foot, raise the right high, three-legged dog, hold here. Bend the knee, bring it nice and high in through the chest, plant it in between the hands, high runner's lunge, come up onto the fingertips. Inhale, warrior one, turn the back foot, square the hips. Exhale, warrior two. Gaze over the right fingertips. Inhale, reach forward, flip the palm. And the right arm comes overhead, reverse warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. The right elbow finds the knee. Nice, beautiful long line here. Reach overhead. And then come back up nice and strong, warrior two. Turn on the ball of that foot. Nice, beautiful high lunge. Rain the fingertips down and step back. Downward facing dog. Left leg sweeps up high. Bend the knee, bring it in through the chest. Plant, runner's lunge. Beautiful. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Reverse the warrior. An extended side angle. Warrior two. Pivot on the ball of that back foot and rain the fingertips down. Downward facing dog. One more time, each side, you got it. Right leg sweeps high. Bend the knee. In through the chest. Runner's lunge. Warrior one. Move with the breath on this time. Exhale, warrior two. Reverse the warrior. An extended side angle. Maybe dropping this hand to the mat this time. Warrior two, back up. And nice high lunge. Rain the fingertips down. Beautiful. Maybe take an extra added vinyasa here. Spice it up a little bit. Warrior two. Left leg comes up. Bend the knee. Runner's lunge. Lift the chest high. And inhale, warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Reach forward and reverse the warrior. Extended side angle, windmill the arms around. Exhale, warrior two. Coming back up, high lunge. And rain fingertips down. This time, staying in a little plank pose and gently lowering down to the belly. Untuck the toes. Gaze down at your mat right in front of your face. Take the hands out by the shoulders. Really ground down through the legs. Squeeze the glutes, press the pelvis into the mat, and lift the hands off. Take these moments to notice how you're feeling right now. After a little bit of movement, keep squeezing. Lift the chest a little bit higher if you can. Try to keep as neutral of a spine. Hold. You're doing great. Strengthening that back. Beautiful. One more breath. And then you thought you were done. Take the arms by the sides, interlace the fingers behind the bum, and use the hands to lift the chest a little bit higher. Squeeze through the glutes, through the back. Lift the head a little bit. Hold here. You're doing amazing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You did it. Release the hands. Plant the forehead down on the mat. Release the arms by the sides, palms face down. You can keep the head on the mat, or you can lift it a little bit. Just be careful not to crunch the neck. We're lifting one leg, the right, squeeze, and lower. And the left, and lower. 4 more each side. Squeeze, the right, lower, left, and down. Right, beautiful. Left, you got this. Right, down. Left, my back is feeling this. Down. One more. You can do it. And left. Beautiful. Plant the hands by the shoulders. Lift the chest. Steeple the fingers. Inhale, press through the fingertips to raise the entire chest. Peek over the right shoulder. See if you can gaze at your feet. Exhale. Come back to center, lower down. Take a breath. And then on your next exhale, press up. and gaze over your left shoulder. Come back to center and take one more on each side. Gaze over the right. Center and left. Beautiful. Come back to center, release the chest, press through the palms to send the hips back, child pose. Take a nice audible sigh of relief. You did it. You did amazing. Find anything that your body is craving right now to counterbalance those back bends. A little child pose with a side stretch, maybe a rabbit pose. You can lift up onto the knees, plant the head, the crown of the head, and reach back for the heels, rounding through the back. This one feels good to me after a lot of back bends, but every body is different. Beautiful. Finding your last breath or two in whatever position you chose, and we meet back sitting up on the knees. So finding another little twist. Inhale, find length, and exhale, twist to the right. Taking your gaze over your shoulder or wherever feels good. Maybe noticing some sweat trickling down. Come back to center, take the hands behind the back, interlace the fingers. Inhale, lift the chest, and exhale, fold forward, taking the hands overhead. And on your next inhale, use the hands to help you lift the chest, and exhale, release. Finding length, and then twisting to the left. Maybe your breath is slowing down now. And on your next exhale, return to center. Untuck the legs and send them out long. All right, take the right foot into the left inner thigh. Square the hips and gently fold over. Keeping a nice long spine. Probably sick of hearing those words by now. It's okay, we are coming to the end of our practice. Allow yourself some time to just let go and rest. All right, raising back up, turn to the side of the mat, keeping this right foot in towards the hips, and find a little side stretch, reaching for the left foot, spiraling the chest open, maybe feeling the skin stretch along the sides of the ribs. Little movements, little dynamic movements like this might feel good too. And then returning back to center and switching legs. Left foot comes into the right thigh. Find your position here. And then exhale, creep the hands towards the foot. Maybe noticing something that came up for you today, whether it be a positive thing or a negative thing. But things are only negative when we choose to look at them that way. I know it's easier said than done, but observing yourself is one of the best things to get to know yourself. Inhale, lift the chest and scoot to the side. Reach the left arm over. Take a big gulp of air. And take this posture to see if there's anything else that you are needing to feel satisfied and fulfilled with this practice. And if anything came to mind, I suggest taking those now. Otherwise, you can join me in a nice easy seat and take a few moments of presence here. Maybe close the eyes and just notice how you're feeling. A little check-in is a form of self-love and self-care. Connect to your breath. Let it ground you. And taking one final breath together, inhale big through the nose and exhale through the nose. Thank you so much for joining me on the mat today for this practice, sharing your time and energy with me. I look forward to the next time we meet together on Yoga with Paige.